we started getting some visitors. From every universe.
Hello, Peter. You're not Peter Parker.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Dr. Otto Octavius.
Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual name?
Hello, guys. How are you all?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty good. First of all, I want to say, congratulations. The tickets are on sale and they're going crazy. People are going crazy for this film. I gotta ask, was there a sense of how big this movie would get 3 movies in? I mean, this is really, seems like it's going to be huge. Let me start with you, Tom.
I mean, to be fair, while we were making this film, we did have an idea that this would surpass all the previous movies. But I could never have expected there to be this kind of hype for the film. Right. You know, the speculation, what's the word I'm looking for? I've been using it all day and it's escaped me. The speculation and then the anticipation has been so fantastic.
Another Asian.
Yeah,
another Asian.
And the complication
nice.
of the multiverse. No, it's just been amazing.
Reiteration.
The integration of the fans with the project has been really wonderful.
Right.
No, it's just been great to see the support we've had from our fans is always wonderful. It's always nice to know that these movies are wanted and people are looking forward to it. So yes, I think we had an idea it was going to be big, but not this big.
Very cool. Zendaya, you are killing it lately with Dune, with Euphoria. It's just blowing me away. You get to do it. I feel like your character has just surpassed anything we've seen from MJ before. What has it been like for you to take this character on and kind of bring it to life like that?
I think it's been an honor. It's been so special. I think from the first movie to now, we've really grown up with our characters in a real way and watched them grow. And I know, like, in the previous movies, it was like secondhand embarrassment watching them just try to talk to each other or whatever. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, just get it together. We get it. You like each other. But
it's like that thing that Happy says.
Yeah. But it's just like it's very sweet and it's nice to grow with them. And now I think in this film, because of Peter, because of Ned, because of finding people that really care about her and love her for all the quirky things that make her who she is, she feels like she can let that wall down a little bit, which has slowly been chipped away movie by movie.
Excellent. And Jacob, I mean, you add such an important role to this. It's like a lot of times these characters are kind of throwaway comedic roles, but you're getting thrown into the action here. What's that been like for you, being a part of this universe?
It's been amazing. I feel like I've been given a lot of great opportunities in my career, and I find that it's just very satisfying for me to know that fans absolutely enjoy what we do, what I do, and I think that Ned is very happy to be a part of the action. I think he's wanted to be a part of the action since movie 1, and now that movie 3 has come along, he's definitely all up in it. So I think that's amazing, and
he becomes his own hero in his own right now.
For sure.
Which is one of the things I love most about this film.
Yeah, definitely a full arc.
Yeah, it's awesome.
No, the film, the series has gone into a little bit of a few dark places, and John obviously comes from a horror background. He's done a couple of those. Wow. Does that come into play with you guys? Where you guys did that clown movie, with the evil clown.
It's funny, we watched it when we first
the first movie, right?
Yeah.
I mean, John really has, especially with this film, been able to kind of exercise his talents and his different, tastes in genre. We have 5 villains coming back, all very, very different, they're all very different villains, aren't they?
And they're from different films, so their style is different.
Totally. So I think John, as a director, kind of had a dream job of being able to mix up the styles throughout the film and explore different things. And there is one sequence in particular that is very scary. I actually think it's quite funny, but it is scary, and I'm sure there will be some kids that are like, "Ooh, spooky," but no. So he definitely has drawn on his talents as a horror director for this film.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to see the rest. And guys, you got amazing chemistry between the three of you. It's fun to watch.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Ever since I got bit by that spider, I've only had 1 week where my life has felt normal. That was when you found out.
When you botched that spell where you wanted everyone to forget that Peter Parker's Spider-Man, we started getting some visitors. From every universe.
Hello, Peter. You're not Peter Parker.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Dr. Otto Octavius.
Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual name?
There are others out there. We need to send them back. So, Scooby-Doo this crap.
You know, all this is kind of your mess. I know a couple of magic words myself, starting with the word please.
Please, Scooby-Doo this crap.
You're flying out into the darkness to fight ghosts.
What do you mean?
They all die fighting Spider-Man. It's their fate. I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah, me too.
Don't.
Look, there has to be another way!
There isn't. They're a danger to our universe.
You're not gonna take this away from me.
Peter, you're struggling to have everything you want while the world tries to make you choose.
This is all my fault. I can't save everyone.
What's happening?
They're starting to come through, and I can't stop them.
December 17th, exclusively in movie theaters. Tickets on sale November 29th. Spider Monday.
Hey, I'm Chris Bunbury from JoBlo.com.
Hi, Chris.
Huge.
Hey, thank you, guys. You've been very nice in the past few decades.
Oh, we're such huge fans of yours, man.
Thank you.
Mr. Stallone. We have a show, Sylvester Stallone Revisited, that I do with this guy, John Fallon. We go through all your movies. And it's huge on YouTube. People love you. You're my favorite actor. I'm sorry I won't gush anymore.
Great. Wow.
I won't gush anymore. Okay, so I got to ask you, Rocky IV, the director's cut. I just watched it recently, and I've probably seen the original to underestimate it dozens of times. And going back in and watching it, I was surprised at how much more soulful it is, the director's cut, and more of a tragedy in a lot of ways, because you really feel that Apollo is kind of racing towards disaster this time in a way that's palpable. Was that an intention of yours?
Yes, it was, because I put in a few more scenes with him, and any kind of situation, even if it's a slight nuance. Yes, I wanted this. It's such a what would you say, tragic? Like you said, like Greek tragedy. He's barreling towards his own demise. It's Icarus. Yeah, and there's nothing I can do. And then Rocky says something that, and I still debate. Don't do this to me. Like, I want to stop the fight. Don't you dare. Don't do this to me. I go, that's really egotistical. Like, don't do this to yourself. No, because Rocky realized he's going to be haunted forever. Oh, yeah. He already crossed the line. But I thought that was kind of, even today, it haunts me, the reading. Don't do this to me. Like, I want Apollo to go, excuse me. I'm the one who's bleeding. Dude, to you?
Well, there's
That's one of those
scene-
moments that to this day, I still question.
There's a scene in it though that you just added that I found really haunting is when Rocky's talking to Adrian in the kitchen, and she's basically so upset because she knows how this is going to turn out.
Right.
And throughout the fight, all the reaction shots to her seem like they're different this time. It's no longer a joke. It's this is awful. You have to stop it. And that really that I thought that was amazing.
Well, I'll tell you, I tried to cut out the silly repartee between myself and Adrian. There were some things where there was a cake that I brought into a room, and the way I was dressed, it looks like I was in a kung fu karate outfit at the time. It was very Chuck Norris. I went, this has got to go, and replace it with just these kinds of moments, like saying goodbye to her. Please don't ask me to give up what has made me who I am, like to be a man, kind of a thing. So I wish I had more of them. But yeah, that thing in the kitchen, I want to punch myself in the face. What were you thinking? It's really extraordinary to have an artist go back and reevaluate anything. I mean, just any creation, whether it be a painting, a designer suit or something, because you go, God, you really do change. You don't think you change, but you do. At least emotionally, you become less testosterone driven and more emotionally driven. Things mean more now as you get older.
That's beautifully put. And I mean, I really felt it during the movie, but I also felt that Drago was more sympathetic this time. I always viewed him as a robot, but he's not now.
I know he's not. He is. He's the Frankenstein monster. He has been created, and then he's going to be disposed of. I mean, it was different. I had written a serious, newsflash. I wrote the screenplay for Creed 2. The original. And it was like about 550 pages handwritten. And I made him, Drago, such a tortured character that through his son, but you see where he's working, he's like in Stuttgart and these steel mills. I mean, he's been chastised and tortured and humiliated forever. His wife is remarried into money, and his son is the last vestige of pride. And, end up doing a different screenplay, but I get you. So when I went in there, I tried to find any nuance, whether even be a look.
Something. And you touch gloves.
I touched. Oh, you saw that?
Oh, my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't either, because that was an outtake.
Yeah.
I said, but that's what Rocky would do.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because the coverage, I didn't have enough coverage, but he went up and went like, okay, it's over now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so
you have a good eye.
Oh, well, I love your movies, man. Okay,
that was still a subtle move. Very good.
So, okay, I teach English to new immigrants, and here in Montreal, and I told them all I was interviewing you this morning, and they were all so excited because they said to them, you are America, right? But also the thing that's also interesting is my fiance, she thinks you're the greatest. My sister texted me to tell you that she thinks that you're the greatest, and they love Rocky. And no matter what it is, there's something about that character that's so universal. Why is it that Rocky seems to transcend culture, race, gender? Why is it you find the character has always been able to do that?
He's truly, I try to analyze it, but he's so neutral.
Yeah.
This guy, he looks to me, I wanted a guy to be such a stereotype. Mm-hmm. Rocky, anyone with the name Rocky, the cut off gloves, the thing. So on the outside, he looks intimidating. He's like, I don't want to even be around this guy. He's like a dark knight, but he plays with puppies and turtles and this. And so people go, he's really a gentle person.
Oh, yeah.
And he has no biases, none.
No.
I mean, he really politically zero. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't even know the difference between, because I believe in good and bad, and that's about it. That's it. He doesn't even get into layers. And I think children, like I met this girl today, she said, oh, my father and I have been watching since you're 6 years old. I'm going, what? And I think it's this gentleness. I'd like to hang out with this guy. He's like a great camp counselor. He's very supportive in that, and doesn't
really, the father figure for us all in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
I think that we all wanted a surrogate in a way.
It's really remarkable. I mean, I wish I could say, it was planned.
Yeah.
shocking.
He is the surrogate father, I think, to all of us, and he's the greatest. Well,
You know, I just think, and it's like I'm doing a streaming show, Taylor Sheridan, about a gangster who goes to.
you're doing a show with Taylor Sheridan?
Yeah, I am. I'm doing a streaming show. I'm going to start. It's probably 10 episodes. I'll start in this. Oh, it's a newsflash. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
And around March, April, it was going to be in Kansas City, but it's going to be in Oklahoma. So this fella comes out of jail after 25 years and goes to Oklahoma to start a new mob. But everyone there is like a cowboy and this kind of thing, you know, a hippie. So it's like a Get Shorty thing, but it's also done by the same people that did The Sopranos too. So it's going to have an edge.
Oh man.
But the character, the reason I'm saying this is I think you have every actor has a certain, I don't know, essence. And I'm lucky enough that I can play like a tough guy, but deep down inside, you know that he's not a cruel guy.
No.
And whereas some actors they do great cruel. I mean, they can really, and it's hard for me to pull it off. I can get mad, but I can't be that like real gangster kind of a thing where you go, he's a fucking killer. Ooh, no. So I thought this would be really interesting to play this kind of guy who goes in there trying to start a mob, but he's not vicious. You know, he's not intimidating. He's just, okay, look, it's like Get Shorty, 25 years later. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's going to be a good one too. Great
my mind.
Showrunners and great everything.
I'm psyched. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Russia will now throw its hat into the ring.
I've seen this Drago fight.
Drago is a super athlete.
I know I can beat him.
Hey, Paolo, look, maybe the show is over. You got nothing more to prove.
He thinks he's fighting for the whole country, but his reasons are wrong.
I'm asking, as a friend, stand in my corner, just this one last time.
I did not come here to lose.
Perhaps this simple defeat will be a perfect example of how pathetic your society has become.
You're my friend. I should stop this fight.
And don't do this to me.
Apollo is down.
I cannot be defeated.
Somebody get a doctor in here!
Soon, whole world will know my name. Drago.
I let it happen. I gotta take everything he's got.
He's had one professional fight, and one man is dead.
It's suicide! You can't win!
This is gonna be a time when you're gonna have to do things that other people don't think are right, but they're gonna be right for you. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Has the fight been set yet?
It's in Russian.
Are you nuts? All your strength, all your power, all your love, everything you've got.
You know what to do. Do it.
He's not a machine. He's a man. Be more man than him.
I must break you.
Rocky is in serious trouble.
Breathe. Don't be scared.
Get up, you son of a bitch.
All those fighters you beat them with heart!
Get up. Get up.
Get up.
Hey guys, I'm super psyched to talk to both of you. I'm
Hi
really
there.
excited to be here. Okay, I got to start. Daniel, as a huge James Bond fan, I'm a massive fan. I can tell you that for me, you really humanize the character. He really has an arc through the movies. And was it always kind of with your intention with this one to close out that arc and give it a satisfying ending?
Yes. I mean, a simple answer, yes. I've always had a game plan. I've always had a fantasy, maybe probably more of a fantasy than a reality most of the time. But just you know, I was given the chance to sort of have a narrative, which was sort of really. Often we would go back, you know, when we began thinking about the next Bond movie, we would think, let's make it a standalone, let's just make it, you know, completely separate adventure. And we always returned to this sort of plot line that we had that was there. And I think it was because of Casino. I think it was because of, you know, this love affair he has with Eva Green, Vesper, in the movie. And I felt like it was so strong and so affecting to him that we needed to kind of finish that story. So either you can believe me that it was all thought through, or it was just a happy accident. But I'll leave that with you.
Oh, I mean, it worked out so well, so I'm glad it did. Rami, I love doing this as Sefan, but I have to ask you, he's evil incarnate, and for an actor, for you, was that kind of liberating in some ways, though, just to get to play this guy that was like just evil?
Yeah, yes, I appreciate you saying that, because that's exactly where my mind frame was. It was difficult in a moment because I thought, okay, I always want to bring something of myself and find something that registers in my moral core, and investigating the psychology of someone who can step outside of any empathy, outside of their morality, to just see their vision completed, see, you know, just do something so brutal and horrific that it's just a complete removal from that sense of any type of empathy. It's difficult to go to those places, but then another aspect is that it's quite liberating. It's freeing. He's unpredictable in that way. There's something about that when you kind of just take that element of heart out of it that makes him a really fierce adversary.
Mm-hmm. And Daniel, okay, I have to ask you, as a huge James Bond fan, why do you think it is that people like me, you know, 60 years after the franchise started, still love this old character? Sorry?
You're not that old.
No. But I've been watching them since birth. Why do you think it is, though, that people love the series so much, though, and why the character means so much to people?
Oh, you know, it's such a big question. I don't know. I feel like they've always adapted to the times. They've always reflected the politics and the fashion and the music scene, or whatever it is that they kind of like. So people have always had a kind of, there's been an there's been cross-generational appeal, which has been amazing, and we still sort of have that, I think, a bit, but who knows? I think so. Who knows?
Sure it does.
Oh yeah. I want, you know, they've just they're an event. They've always been an event, whether they've been, you know, and that's down to the Broccoli's and their and you know, Cubby's legacy is that he's keep them special. You know, they're the biggest independent movies in the world, and they stand out because of that.
Oh, she's an amazing producer too, Barbara Broccoli. She's the best. So much respect for her. Rami, do you have a favorite James Bond villain? I gotta ask you. I'm sure you've been asked a million times.
I don't know that I have a favorite, but when I keep reverting back to Casino Royale, and when I saw this incarnation of my Bond, my favorite Bond, anyone who was going to get in his way was villainized by me immediately. So anyone who put this guy through any torture, when I first saw Casino, I wanted to strangle. So hats off to Mads for doing a good job, but I think everyone Daniel's had to deal with has been a worthy adversary. They've all brought their own nuanced performance to it, and I just consider myself quite grateful to be included in that legacy.
Daniel, I was told I could ask one more question, so I have to say I love the fact that there was some humor in this one, and how Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Carrie, they brought in this amazing kind of.
You didn't think the others were funny?
I thought they were funny, but this one was hilarious though at times, and I really like that.
I'm joking. That was a gag. A bad one, clearly. I'm glad I'm not writing them. What was the question?
No, I just wanted to say, was it refreshing to you to kind of be able to work in a little bit of extra humor into this?
Phoebe's just is the word I use is witty. I mean, that's obvious, but she's so witty and she's so smart. A lot of lines were still improvised, but she would set us off on the right tone that's incredibly liberating for all of the actors. And you'll see in the film lines that are hers and other people's and things, but then there are lots of lines which were just invented on the day because she set the bar so high.
Well, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
No,
It's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bond, any thug can kill. I have to know I can trust you.
Well, I understand double O's have a very short life expectancy.
You are a kite dancing in a hurricane, Mr. Bond.
Is this really what you want? Always alone?
We used to be able to get into a room with the enemy. Now they're just floating in the ether.
When her secret finds its way out, it'll be the death of you.
Oh my God.
Target enough people.
Remember, people become the weapon.
Who is he?
James, you don't know what this is.
James Bond. License to kill. In love with Madeline Swan. I could be speaking to my own reflection. Only your skills die with your body. And life is all about leaving something behind. Isn't it?
Come on, Bond. Where the hell are you? Okay.
If we don't do this, there will be nothing left to save.
I have to finish this. You ever flown like this?
Nope.
Hey, Dave, we're huge fans of yours at the website, sir.
Thank you, man. How are you?
I'm good. You?
All right. Now I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right.
So, okay, I just want to ask you, you've been in some of the biggest movies ever made, but did it feel different in Army of the Dead, you know, with this being totally like a star vehicle for you, man? Like this is like your Schwarzenegger movie in a way. Did it feel different to you when you shot?
Yeah, it felt different in a lot of different ways, but a lot of very welcomed ways. But you know, the really cool thing about this is that I was you know, a lot of times on big films, when you're an actor for a hire, you really kind of feel left out of the process. And I was on this film. I was an actor for a hire. It didn't have anything to do with the production or producing this film. But I never felt left out of the conversation. I never felt left out of the process. And that was really because Zack allowed me to be a part of it, which is why I wanted to take this role and which is why I wanted to work with Zack, because I wanted to learn from Zack. But I also really wanted to be able to have the freedom to put my, you know, to put my 2 cents, to invest in this character and to make him something that I wanted to put on screen, you know, because I didn't want to play your very predictable stereotypical action guy. I wanted to give this guy some heart and give some depth and some emotion, and Zach allowed me to do that. So,
I think
which I
that's
believe is a winning formula.
I think that's what I actually really like about you as an action hero. You know, I find that a lot of guys they're too afraid to show any kind of vulnerability. But there's, I like that you're soft spoken kind of. Sometimes you don't have to act outwardly macho. You have this real heart to your characters, and I think that's what makes you really unique as an action star.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. I appreciate that, and I appreciate those guys. I understand, and those are guys that I liked watching when I was growing up. But it's just not. It's not who I am as a performer or as a person, and I want to portray something different. I want to give people, kind of a different look at, of their action hero. Show the guy with some heart and have a guy that they can relate to and empathize with, and so I do that through emotion. I do that even through simple things like wearing glasses. Because I wear glasses in real life. I'm blind, but if you do things like that, that show that you're not invincible, that you have things that you're working around, that you're trying to overcome. I just think it makes you more relatable,
I'm always psyched to see an action star with glasses, so thank you for that.
Man. Yeah, no, thank you. It's who I am, man. It's who I am. But I think there's also something really cool about kind of putting on those glasses,
Thanks, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Yeah, take care.
Thank you.
Demi, it's good to see you again.
Very good to see you again.
I want to talk a little bit. When we had the conversation, you were talking about how you wanted the people working with you to kind of turn off the internet and not look at, what's been out there and kind of create. What were some of your personal influences in creating the visual palette for this film?
There were, of course, when you make movies in the 21st century, there are multiple influences as you make a movie, and even if you try to you create a bubble where you try to disconnect yourself from what has been made. It's not possible, of course. It would be a illusion. So, but I would say the visual influence definitely. I've been influenced by artists that are European artists coming from Metal Hurlant, the Drouillet, Bilal, Moebius, all these artists, graphic novel artists, French and European graphic novel artists that had tremendous impact on me when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Still today, so they are like references for me. They are my gods. So these are strong influences. I will say that it would be a lie to say that David Lean is not with Lawrence of Arabia is not Lawrence of Arabia pillars of had influence Frank Herbert, and so it has and it's a movie that was still today is one of my favorite movie of all time. There's influence from Apocalypse Now, I will say, in the movie. There are influence from multiple reference. I think that there's a bit of it's a movie that I will say there was like influence from Kurosawa also. As I was shooting, I used some of say when you make a movie, you always refer to masters. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying those are the guys that had an impact on Dune, I would say. Yeah.
Well, I feel like there was such a great balance of nature and creating not just an action film, and I think that those influences feels like a classic movie as opposed to something we've seen before, the big budget, the fighting every so often. Do you feel that did you feel like you were kind of going back to harkening back to those classics in a way and trying to kind of return to that in a way?
No, I will say that I think that when what is the most inspiring thing to do for a filmmaker is to revisit cinema history, to go down in time, and then there are so many masterpieces and strong work that has been done in the past. I will say a movie that had a deep impact on me for Dune also was Le Mystère Picasso from Henri-Georges Clouzot. That was a movie that really brought a lot of comfort as I was revisiting this movie for the creative process. There's multiple movies that had an impact on me yeah, I'm the product of tons of influences.
Well, soon people will be doing you. So congratulations again, man. It's really a fantastic movie. We got to wrap up, but it's a pleasure seeing you, man.
It was you have a nice background, I must say.
Thank you. I love movies too.
Yeah, I can see. Thank you.
Cheers, man.
The outsiders ravage our land. Their cruelty to my people is all I've known.
So you're going tomorrow?
Yes, I'm going tomorrow with the advance team.
I'd like you to take me with you.
Are you trying to give me court-martial?
Can I trust you with something? I've been having dreams about a girl fallen in battle. Felt like a vision.
Dreams make good stories, but everything important happens when we're awake.
For the future of House Atreides,
You have to be ready.
there is no call we do not answer. There is no faith that we betray.
They're not human, they're brutal.
What if I'm not dead? You'll still be the only thing I ever needed you to be.
Come on!
My son. I know you.
Tonight, the bloodline ends forever. Kill them all.
This is an extermination. They're picking my family off one by one. Only together can we stand a chance.
Let's fight like demons.
It's not safe for you here.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. When the fear is gone, only I will remain.
This is only the beginning.
Jimmy O from JoBlo. Hey, Edgar, how are you?
Nice, twice in 1 week.
I know, it's been a while. Not only do I get to see you in person, but I get to talk to you about this amazing movie. I'm so happy. Dude, I'm blown away. Your music has always been such an important part of what you do. But here, I think you even elevated it further, the way it moves the story along. Can you talk about finding the right sound to mix with this kind of this look and this atmosphere that you have here?
I guess part of it is that, you know, in a way, like choosing the music and kind of writing the story go hand in hand. Because what you're
in both cases, you're sort of zoning in on like a particular tone. And like, I really, like, I mean, sort of part of the conception of the movie comes from an obsession with a decade that I never lived in. And that started with music, because it wasn't necessarily that at the age of 6, that I was watching kind of like, A Taste of Honey or like Blow Up, but I was listening to 60s music, and I like, figured out how to use the record player, and I would be happily kind of like listening to all of my parents' 60s records. So that was something that I guess if I started an obsession with a decade that I never lived in, that was the start of it. And then in a way, like not dissimilar to Eloise in the movie, she inherits her grandmother's records in the same way that like, when my parents never seemed to play their record collection anymore when I was growing up. So I kind of took them myself and started playing them. So yeah, the music and the conception of the story go hand in hand, really.
Yeah, I got that, and I loved how it kind of put everything forward, and it's there's such a beautiful like a mix of inspiration here in the look of the film, in the way you style it. This is a really beautiful thriller. Was that kind of tricky for you, because you haven't done, I don't think, really a straightforward thriller like this?
Well, it's definitely a challenge, and something that I think with any new project you want to kind of set the bar higher than you could clear, otherwise what's the point, so there's always an element of like reaching for something. I think at the point where you maybe become complacent or like say, oh, I know how to do this, and you're just phoning it in is the end. So there's always an element where you're with a new project, you're doing something you haven't done before. And with this, there were several things that I'd never done before, but that was a challenge that I wanted to take on. And, I'd been thinking about the film for like a decade. So I'd part of me had been gearing up to do this,
And Anya and Thomason, I mean, really perfect casting. How difficult was the casting process in finding the right two people?
Well, I mean, in the case of Anya Taylor-Joy, she was the first actor that I talked to about it. And it became not a matter of like, will you be in it, more of like which part? Because I met her 6 years ago in 2015, right after The Witch. And even though I hadn't written a word of the screenplay, I decided that Anya Taylor-Joy should be the star of my Soho film. But back then, I was thinking of her for Eloise. And then over the years, well, especially when we'd written the screenplay in 2018, it was clear that it started to become clear as the Sandy part expanded that Anya should be playing that part. And when I sent her the script, luckily she agreed. So then it was like, that was the first person we went to. So Anya was on board. And then it was like, okay, who's going to play Eloise? And Naira Park was the first person to mention Thomas McKenzie. And I'd seen Leave No Trace and thought it was wonderful. But I think maybe like she's so kind of naturalistic in that movie, I wasn't even sure whether that was an actor or not. Like sort of playing the daughter in Leave No Trace. So, and I didn't know she was from New Zealand. So, when I met her and she was excited about doing the role, I had a really good feeling about it. And, she is so incredibly talented for her years.
Well, dude, we got to wrap. Again, amazing movie. You just keep cranking them out, man. Beautiful.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. When you've got troubles, all the noise and the hurry seems to help, I know. Downtown. Just listen to the music of the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalks where the neon signs are pretty. How can you lose? Are much brighter there. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares. So go downtown, things will be
Hey, nice to meet you.
What's the poster behind you?
It's a James Bond movie on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Huge
Yeah,
Bond.
that's so cool.
That's cool.
Thank you very much. So Ben, I gotta start with you. When you put on the Ghostbusters outfit on Stranger Things, did you ever think that one day you'd be the real deal, an actual Ghostbuster?
No,
Yes.
not at all. Yeah, what if I was like, of course? No, no, I don't know. I think being in that world, prepared me maybe a little bit for it, but it definitely didn't expect for me to be in a Ghostbusters movie.
Awesome. And McKenna, I feel like I've seen you in a million movies, but I didn't recognize you at first because your transformation was so intense as Phoebe. And I was just wondering, what was that like for you to kind of like be like, because you look completely different and you're so good
turn
in the
into a
role.
different person. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I feel like usually I just I play the younger version of most white women in Hollywood. So it's just I have this like
Tonya
very
Harding,
generic like white
Captain
girl
Marvel.
look. And so yeah, and so
Tonya
it's really
Harding,
funny.
Captain
So
Marvel.
yeah, so now it's like, and it's really cool to whenever I get to play my own character instead of watching someone else and mimicking them.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to get to create Phoebe with Jason. I was talking with him last night and I was like, if we do another one, please don't make me cut my hair like that. And he was like, hey, we gave you an iconic look, okay? But that haircut was horrible. But I would do it. It's Ghostbusters, so I can't complain. But
I love that haircut, dude. Maybe it'll be a little longer.
Hard to upkeep. Do you not remember what it looked like whenever my hair was straight?
Your hair is straight, and it was like, it looked crazy when your hair was straight.
That's so rude.
I don't have that problem.
No.
I don't know if you.
No,
I don't have
exactly.
that problem. So
It didn't look crazy. After that, you wore the band, the cute band.
It was
and it was
so
fine.
bad,
It wasn't
man.
bad. You know, with a ponytail
It
on
was
top.
so bad. But yeah, it was like a total transformation for me. That's one of my favorite things to do because I had gone from, I did a film called Troop Zero where I had bleach blonde eyebrows and bleach blonde hair that was like that. And I was this really outgoing character. And then I went into Ghostbusters where I had this short, like
black hair.
And I was playing this very introverted.
Oh, but you were amazing though. I thought you were so good, and so were you, Finn. And I gotta ask, were you a Ghostbusters fan? Like, did you see Ghostbusters when you were younger? Because I feel like my generation, everybody watched it, but I was wondering what was it like for you? Yeah.
No, I think it crosses generations for sure. I don't, and even if like someone hasn't seen it, they've obviously seen the No Ghosts.
Yeah.
I mean,
song.
I was actually a part of an anti-Ghostbusters club before I
yeah. Very anti-Ghostbusters.
No,
we were both fans. We were just talking about it. Like we don't have a specific like memory, but it was always on in our houses and stuff. We were always fans, so it's cool to be in the movie.
And McKenna, you said something interesting. How you kind of always play these younger versions of these iconic characters, but so. It must have been a different experience for you though on this one, being the lead of like a tentpole movie like this. And I was just wondering what was it like for you? Because you are the lead of the film. I mean, I think of it as your movie. And would you think?
No,
of that?
she absolutely carries the movie on her back.
You were amazing.
You really do.
Don't think that it's absolutely. Whenever I think of it, I absolutely do not think of it as like
it's so funny
as like my film or as like. It's ours collectively because all of us worked so hard on it.
Yeah,
like
everyone's really good
whether
at it,
Phoebe's story is like one of the most prominent ones, it's still like all of us because like it's us together, you know. It's all of us together. But
no, but you had a lot of heavy lifting.
It was exciting. It was really cool for me. I felt honored. You know, I felt scared, but it was really special. Really special to me. It's one of my proudest accomplishments.
Well, I have to say, as a Ghostbusters fan from pretty much the time I was born, I really hope that you two get to continue on with your characters and carry on this legacy. Are you excited to maybe do a sequel?
Dude, if it does well, I'm sure fans are really liking it. And
yeah, I heard that.
Thank you, man. I know it'll do well. I just I don't want to jinx it. I really want to keep going.
I actually don't tell them, but I heard that they're doing a sequel and they recasted Trevor.
What did you say?
Huh?
I just didn't. Sorry, I spaced out for a second.
That's cool. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Take care.
Later.
I remember Revelations. And I looked as he opened the sixth seal. There was a great earthquake. Judgment Day.
Raise a cult.
I'm calling about what happened in New York.
There hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years.
Oh my god. What is happening here?
His grandfather was a Ghostbuster.
Something was coming and he knew it.
I think we opened the gates of hell.
Hey, have you missed this?
You don't fool people, Stan. They fool themselves.
I've given you a fortune.
It's time that you delivered.
When does it end? I want to know.
If you displease the right people, the world closes in on you very, very fast.
Jimmy O from JoBlo. Guillermo, how are you, my friend?
Good to see you, man.
It's great to see you, dude. And congratulations on this movie.
Thank you.
I guess that my first question is, I wonder, you stay very true to the original story in many ways. Why was now the time to present Nightmare Alley and still remain true to the original text in many ways?
Yeah, the novel, which is what we tried to do, we didn't want to do a remake, but a version of the novel that was different. And the text Gresham created was a very spiritual question for him about truths and lies and reality, and how this sort of populist speech can create lies that look truthful. And then in the parlance of mentalism is called shut-eye, when the seer starts believing the lies that are being dispensed. So I thought those are themes. The movie may be in the past, but those are themes that we live in the present, and the anxiety that that we have in the present. And the character was really interesting to me because it's a character that lies and lies, and the final scene is just the truth staring back at him, And Pete, David Strathairn, says, "No man can outrun God," And at the end, he's facing him, and he tells him, "This is who you are, really." And there's it's a beautiful scene. I think when Bradley Cooper and I discussed the movie, we said the whole movie is a prologue to the last 2 minutes. And that's the way we structured it, as a character portrait.
Well, and it's a great portrait, and also I feel like you allow all the characters, and this is a huge cast, you allow all of them have a moment to shine. You have Clifton with his guitar. You have all these moments. How did you figure out a way to balance that and make it work in such a way?
Well, it was actually, we went from a movie that the first cut was 3:30, 3:40. It was really, really long. So we went down from that to 2:19. Which we lost. That means we lost more than an hour and 10. And the reality of it is that you look for things that illuminate that central portrait, that contrast or give color or shed some light. And you have beautiful scenes with Toni Collette, beautiful scenes with Willem Dafoe, and they all show you different sides. The way we structured it, Kim Morgan and I, we said, let's give him 3 fathers to react to, 3 possible futures. If he got all the money he wants, he would become Ezra Grindel, which is Richard's character. If he drank enough, he would become Pete. And he was ruthless enough, he would become Clem. And then give him 3 women that are very much archetypical women in the noir genre, and have them survive him and even thrive and take him down, and all of them, in a way, all 6 characters see him for who he is, but they hope he can become something else. And the fact is, it should not be a surprise that he can't. The whole movie is built for you to understand the character, and forgive him, not forgive him, that's not important. If you like him or dislike him, I don't want to do a judgment.
I agree, and you did a fantastic job, and honestly, so good to see you again, man.
Same here, Jim.
I will ask you simple questions. You will answer in short sentences only what you believe to be absolute truth.
Absolute truth. I can do that.
Now, brief as you can, what is your name?
Stanton Carlisle.
Are you a true medium?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Carlisle,
Doctor, how about that?
please lay down.
Can you read minds?
Yes, I can. Under the right circumstances.
Keep your answers brief.
What do I want?
To be found out, same as everybody else.
Are you in contact with the beyond?
Well, we've had our share of snake charmers in the past. We deal with them.
You don't fool people, Stan. They fool themselves.
I've given you a fortune. It's time that you delivered.
When does it end? I want to know.
If you displease the right people, the world closes in on you very, very fast.
Hey, James, how are you, man?
Good. How are you doing, Dave? Good to see you.
Dude, it's great to see you, and I'm not kissing your ass here. This is my favorite fucking movie so far this year.
Oh, thanks. Man.
There was a lot of freedom you had here. That was clear. How did you find the way to tell the story? How did you connect this and be able to tell such a big story that celebrates B movies, that celebrates, it takes on some serious subjects as well? What was the way you approached this story?
Man, in some ways I know the answer, in some ways I don't. I mean, I do know that Warner Brothers allowed me to do whatever I wanted. They gave me the ability to do the R rating from the beginning. That was part of our agreement of doing the movie. But I also think that I was in a place where I had been making movies for about 25 years, and I had been for a long time, you get swept up in doing things by the book. You kind of get swept up and you get swept up in external things, what other people say, whether it's critics or fans, social networking. You get swept up in I'm going to make this much money for this project or whatever. And I really think that through the personal things that I went through, it brought me back to, what do I love about making movies? And what do I love, being a person, one of probably 4 or 5 people in the history of making movies who was able to make a large budget movies with no rules whatsoever. What is really the movie that I want to make? What do I want to make? And if my rules are there are no rules, what are the new rules? So how can, I can do anything. And as long as it was something that I thought serviced the story, because I'm not a self-indulgent person. I'm not a person that's going to go out and, be doing something that's not communicating with an audience. I was able to do just something that was fun. And so I just was in the right place at the right time, emotionally and physically and spiritually, to be able to make the movie and to be as free as I was. Because there's a lot being made of how much freedom Warner Brothers gave me. But I think a lot of it is how much freedom I gave myself for doing it and being able to do it. And that's something I really think of till I'm just talking to you right now, to be honest.
Well, I think that makes sense to me, because look, you also are a part of probably one of the best Marvel movies as well, with Guardians of the Galaxy. Is that that must be a strange fucking place to be. You're dealing with two very different properties, but weirdly similar.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, they're both ensembles. They both have outsider characters. You know, they do have a lot of things in common. You know, they also have a lot of differences, and I found a lot of fun in the differences. You know, in the Guardians movies, when you're with Rocket and Drax in the first movie, and they get into a fight, and Rocket says he's going to shoot Drax's face off, I don't think you really think that he's going to shoot Drax's face off. You know, at the end of the day, that's not going to happen. In this movie, not only do you know that it's not going to happen, it does happen. They do sometimes shoot each other's faces off. So it being that extra element of risk was really fun to play with.
Well, dude, I think you did a marvelous job, and I think there's a lot of bases covered here, and I think this is a movie that no one else could have made, and I thank you for making it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Cheers, man. Always a pleasure.
I'll see you soon.
Robert Dubois. He's in prison for putting Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet.
I'm not joining your suicide squad.
We'll see.
My court date is coming up. And Miss Waller said maybe you could help me out.
You're flexing in my door!
Everyone stand down.
Miss Waller, I don't...
Stand down!
I wouldn't take such extreme measures if this mission went more important than you could possibly imagine. Are you in or out? Good. Let's meet your team.
It's okay, I'm not okay.
Each member is chosen for his or her own completely unique set of abilities.
I need to feel the raindrops on my head.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Had to go number 2.
Good to know.
Is this thing a dog?
A dog? What kind of dog do you think it is, mate?
I'm gonna go with Afghan hound.
Oh my god, is it a werewolf?
Yo, they sent me next to a werewolf! Yo, let me out!
Hey, he's not a werewolf, okay? He's a weasel. He's harmless. I mean, he's not harmless. He's killed 27 children, but, you know.
Your mission is to destroy every trace of something known only as Project Starfish. Any questions?
Starfish is a slang term for a butthole. Think there's any connection?
No.
No. All right. Let's get it. This is suicide. Well, that's kind of our thing.
I'm a superhero!
That's my dad.
I'm gonna get you out of here alive.
I'm going to get you out of here alone.
Ratatouille, what do you got?
Bird.
Now it. Stay off the comm.
Liam, hey, hey man, it's so good to see you again.
Hey, buddy.
Now, I gotta ask you, you lately you've been doing some really interesting stuff, and I always appreciate what you bring to any project. What was it, the appeal to shift gears, so to speak, and take on a more of a road-based truck movie like Ice Road?
I was a huge fan of Wages of Fear. It's a French film made in the 50s, which I saw, and then I saw the remake made with the great Roy Scheider. And Billy Friedkin directed it. I think that was in the early 70s.
I think so, yeah.
And so I know it inspired Jonathan Hemsley to write The Ice Road. And when I was sent the script, I found a complete page turner. And yes, it's in the ice. Yes, it's in trucks. I know nothing about those big Kenworth trucks, which are amazing. And they are the star of the movie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And getting a chance to be with Lawrence Fishburne, whom I admire greatly, young Amber Midthunder, who plays Tante. She was in one scene we did in my film The Marksman.
Yeah.
Then I heard she was going to be cast in this main part, so I was thrilled about that too. So it was all a new experience, you know. I'm familiar with ice and snow. I've done some stuff like that, but these, to be driving these Kenworth trucks, and I played Lenny in Of Mice and Men, in a production of Mice and Men in Dublin many years ago at the
Wow.
Abbey Theatre. And so there was a kind of a similar relationship with Marcus Thomas, who plays Gertie, my brother, who has got this condition, aphasia, it's called. So that rang a few bells, and I kind of liked being a protective figure towards him, and of course he's being protective towards me. You know?
Yeah.
Just like those little offshoots, you know.
Yeah, I could see that. I know the trucks. I mean, how easy was it to get used to kind of maneuvering through that?
I mean, there was a gentleman, I wish I could remember, was it Stan? I wish I could remember his name. He took me out around the streets of Winnipeg on this thing, and he said, "Do you want to try?" I said, "Yes, I do, but not in the streets. Can we do it in the playground of where our little studio was, you know, where the production office was?" And I was just the sensitivity of these monsters, you know, the delicacy of changing gears and when to apply pressure on the foot for the brake and stuff. That was very intriguing. And then hearing these stories when these truck drivers get on these ice roads, and if they go beyond a certain speed limit, it sets up these waves underneath the ice. But when they hit the opposite shore, they spring back and buckle the ice. The ice actually breaks because of the force. And so these drivers sometimes will literally go down. There's sometimes quite a few accidents happen.
Oh my God.
Over the speed limit, and they literally hit a wall of ice and go down.
Oh my gosh.
We got it quite regularly around.
Wow. We got to wrap this up, unfortunately. But man, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I wish you the best with this film, man.
You too, man.
You're a good guy.
In person next time.
Hell yeah. I can't wait, dude. Can't wait. I want to shake your hand again, my friend. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much. Hello, John. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing, man?
I'm fantastic, man. I've got to say, I was listening to the score, at least what you guys have released, Michael's Legend. I'm really blown away by what you did here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Going in this as a fan, seeing this film and seeing these characters and some of the actors return, it was very satisfying for me. What was it like for you as kind of creating the sound with these kind of familiar faces and this fresh look?
Well, it was a joy. I mean, it's so much fun to score this movie and David's movies. It's just so much fun. And I love taking some of the old Halloween themes and refurbishing them into the new era here, in the modern era. And it's just great.
It must be kind of relaxing to at least, okay, I'm not on the set. I'm not constantly like having to make the decisions that David is doing.
You got it.
How much of an influence have you had in where the story is going and where because he's taking a unique and different path, which I really like.
I just give my blessing because I think I agree with you. It's so unique and so different, but it's just brilliant. So I don't have to do anything. I love it.
Wow. That's a lot of trust, because this is a film that, you made years ago, 78, that inspired so many people. How has it changed you? How has your outlook changed on the franchise, especially now, kind of being involved in it once again?
It's great, and I resisted for a number of years, but Jason Blum convinced me to do this, and I'm really happy he did.
I am too. Well, look, all the fans of this, obviously you've done some amazing work. One of my favorite films of yours is Starman. I think it's
Thank
brilliant. Why do you think now this film specifically is so brutal, and he pushes the limit, which was actually really nice to see. What was your reaction? Like, just the level of violence and the bloodshed and the victims, for that matter.
I thought this is the ultimate slasher film. This is the movie that I think every horror director wants to make. He wants to do this. We want to kick ass. We don't want to be pansies.
That's true. Well, I think it does seem to be, in this day and age, a lot of times horror is sanitized, cleaned up. We don't want to see anything too shocking, Somewhat, but go back to Hostel. The thing about the violence in oddly enough in Halloween Kills is it's not cruel. It's just the intention is not cruel. Michael is a force, and he's a force of evil, and we watch what he does. But it's just so well done. I think we can all celebrate it. I think so too. Well, I think a lot of fans are really happy to see Halloween 3 kind of get a little representation.
Yeah.
I was thinking of that the other day. We're Halloween Kills. We're looking at Halloween Ends. Back in the day when you did Halloween 3, it was like this could be a new way to tell the story, create an anthology of sorts with new films. Do you think that's a possibility now, with this with the end?
No. They want to see Michael.
Yeah, well, I guess what I was saying, with Halloween 3, it was such a it has become a cult classic, and that's it's a shame that didn't work out in some ways, that we didn't see new fresh stories of Halloween, because it would be nice to see.
Yes, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And I'm unaware of the changes in the reputation of Halloween 3 because no one tells me anything. So I don't know. It's great. It's a great treat.
No, it's true. It's become a lot of people, more and more people are falling into the camp because I think it took a lot of chances. And well, to be honest, you guys take a lot of chances in Halloween Kills as well with some of the kills. I do want to say with Jamie Lee and your relation, you guys are both executive producers. How does it feel to be back working with her? What has anything ever been lost on that relationship? It just seems so genuine and so perfect.
It is perfect, and it's deepened, if anything. I worked with Jamie back when she was a teenager, and this was her first movie. And now she's just on top of the world, and she's such a fine actress. I'm so proud of her. I'm proud of her evolution as an actress. And everything with dealing with Jamie is a joy, just a joy.
How did you know? I mean, back then, like, she was just a kid, even though she had the famous mom. How did you know she could pull this off and become legendary?
Well, you never know that, but I knew she could pull it off. I read her for the part, and she was just great, perfect for the part.
Do you, with the changes that her character Laurie Strode has made, I think weirdly this movie feels incredibly relevant today. In this, even though it was done before the pandemic, even though it was, there's a lot of kind of similarities between in this film and what's going on now. Was that was there ever a moment you're kind of like, oh my God, we're kind of telling the future in a way?
No, the whole thing about the survivors of violence is interesting to me because that resonates. That's right now, the survivors of violence and how they cope, how they last, and I think that's real interesting. I think David did a great job with that.
Well, yeah, because you never see in a slasher movie, you never see someone going, oh my God, my best friend just died. I'm going to mourn this. I'm going to feel it. This movie, you feel that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that, especially with, I think Judy Greer is one of the, what an amazing performance she gives here.
Oh yeah, she's a really terrific actress.
With your music, and you've been doing a lot, focusing on that. What is the joy? Why is that such a special? I mean, obviously you're working with your son. That's got to be amazing. Why has that become probably, I guess, maybe the more important thing to you, or the more joyful thing to you? Why do you think that has overshadowed maybe going back and directing a film?
Directing is like going to work in a coal mine. It's not fun. It's hard. It's hard work. It's stressful. So you have to be driven to it. You have to have inside of you have to have a drive to put up with all the bullshit. Yeah. And I've basically reached a point in my life where I said, I don't need this anymore. Man, this is too rough. But then along came my musical business, and music is just the best of humanity because it doesn't require any words to describe it. You just listen. That's all there is to it. Just listen. And I think we are at the top of our species in terms of creativity when we create music. So I didn't think that before. I do now.
How did you know that? How did you learn that your son would be such like the perfect combination between you two? How did you guys discover that?
I just throughout the years, we started playing together, and he learned music, and so did my godson Daniel, who has an enormous gift, and we just make a great team.
You do, and your live shows are incredible, I've got to say. Well, we're almost out of time, but I got to thank you, John. I've been a fan. You were the first director I knew. You were the first one I looked up to. So and congratulations. I'm so glad you're still involved with this series, and it's nice to see.
Thank you, man. Take care.
Cheers, man.
Hey, what are you guys doing out here? It's Halloween. We've been trick-or-treating. Are you alone?
There's a creepy man in a white mask.
Where?
And he keeps, trying to play hide and seek with us.
Where did you see him? Look! Run! Go home now!
Unlock the door! No! Come on!
We killed Michael.
My grandmother set the fire.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Michael Myers is alive.
A man couldn't have survived that fire. "40 years ago, the boogeyman came for us. We are the survivors of Michael Myers.
Glory, what do we do?
We fight.
Mom,
Our family will kill him.
we're gonna hunt him down and we're gonna put an end to this. He is not gonna stop killing until we stop him.
If you track Michael's victims, that's a straight line to Michael's childhood home.
Someone's in our house.
He is coming for me, but I'm coming for him.
You want to kill someone? Take me! Michael!
I want to take his mask off and see the life leave his eyes.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hi, Jade.
Hey!
What's happening?
What's happening with you? It's good seeing you again, Mila. It's been a while.
Phew, I know. And we're back on Zoom.
Yes, we're back. Yeah, on Zoom. Interesting times we're in. Let me start with you. I love this performance, and I love what you and Allison bring. This really natural chemistry. Can you talk about finding that and kind of relating to her in that way? And it's really cool to watch.
Yeah. Allison was my best friend, but she didn't know it. So I was a fan of Allison since West Wing. I think West Wing is genuinely what taught me politics and how the government works. I will tell you, I learned not from school, but from West Wing. So yay, Aaron Sorkin. But I thought that she was incredible in it. I was at a restaurant in LA many years ago, okay? And I was like, oh my God, there's Allison Jennings. And she used to go by the name Flamingo. I think it was Flamingo. Yeah, Flamingo in West Wing. And I was like, I'm going to be that crazy person. And I'm going to just walk over to her after dinner and be like, you're amazing, I love you, and then walk away. So I did it. She has no recollection of this dinner, okay? And it meant nothing to her, but to me, I was like, hell yeah. I was so proud of myself. So cut 2 years later, Tate was like, I'm doing this movie with Allison, and I was like, I'm in. So by the time that I showed up, I was like, Allison, you're my best friend. You don't know it yet, but you are my best friend.
Well, clearly it worked. Whatever you did, it worked.
I mind melded her to like me.
And Juliet, wow, I've been a fan of yours since Cape Fear. I mean, I think you always blow me away in everything you do. Tell me about bringing Gloria to life. This is a great character.
Well, I just love being other people and playing people that are not like myself. I like transforming. And Tate Taylor, I've worked with him a couple times now, so anything he wants me to do, I'm there. And this script was it was kind of a throwback to movies I grew up with, with these rich characters and kind of wacky, and you can't predict it, and a whodunit. So everything about it was really fun. And the cast. That's what, another thing that's so great about Tate is he pushes you in directions you never knew you could play. Mm-hmm. And so I just love seeing all these incredible ladies doing great characters.
Are we seeing a change? Are we actually getting to a point where we're seeing more great female characters, kind of like we did in the 50s with, Claudette Colbert and all the... We haven't seen that for a while. Are we seeing that now, do you think? Both of you?
I'd like to think it's happening. Oh, yeah. I mean, television for sure is just that's where all the great storytelling has been happening. I have a sweet spot for all things movies, and I know we're in awkward times, but I feel like there'll be a renaissance. I gotta, for art and movie making. But I do think it's starting to be new, fresh, and exciting, different stories we're seeing more and more.
Do you feel the same way, Mila? What's your take on that?
I do. I really do. I think that, before you can say 10 plus years ago that it was, rare that a female had a story plot point in a film and didn't just service someone else's plot point. But I think that has drastically changed. And I think, to Juliet's point, I think streaming and television and the idea of going either which way has changed. So because you can do both now and not be so landlocked into one form, I think has also helped that. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's good news. I think that's good for everybody, really.
Yeah.
What was your favorite moment? I mean, this cast is stacked. You guys are amazing. What was your favorite moment on the film?
I mean, I would say it's changed because my favorite moment, the ending of my character has changed from the ending that you saw. So there was a whole other sequence that happened that was maybe my favorite, without giving too much away, that included guts being splattered in lots of places. And I thought that was the coolest because I never had to have guts splattered. So I really enjoyed that, but then I think that didn't test so well, and audiences were very upset with my gut splatter. And so then that got toned down. But just the heightened nature of it, like I've never been allowed to play in that world. I've never been allowed to play in the world of like these type of characters. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it was just more playing around with these actors in a little bit of an elevated and a little bit of a heightened reality. It was super fun.
Yeah, it was super fun to watch. I'm a huge fan of this movie. I fucking loved it. So congratulations, guys. We got wrapped up. I want to know more from you, but
Thank you, James.
thank you, guys.
Hello, this is Gaius Bowling from JoBlo.com. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I had a chance to watch the movie yesterday, and I had so much fun with it. Both of you guys are just totally awesome in it. Yeah, I just love that. After watching Army of the Dead and watching this, I loved how completely tonally different they were, even though they're in the same universe. And I was kind of wondering when you guys got involved, I'll ask you, Natalie, first. Did you know about how much of a connection it would be to Army of the Dead, or was it kind of pitched to you as its own thing?
Well, it definitely is its own thing, but it was absolutely a part of the kind of Army of the Dead world. That movie hadn't come out yet. And they were like, we're doing this prequel, and and I was like, okay, cool. But what I wasn't expecting was it to not be a zombie movie. I was expecting a zombie movie, and then it was this heist movie, and I just thought that was really cool and interesting to within the same kind of franchise or same kind of world to just do a sort of 360 almost and do something completely different, and it made me more interested in being involved. And then I got the script and I read the script and I really liked it, and I loved Gwendolyn. I thought she was so cool and really interesting, very multifaceted woman. You think one thing about her, but actually there's all this other stuff going on underneath. And yeah, she kind of gets she has a really cool journey, and so that kind of sealed it for me, really. And meeting Matthias as well, he was so enthusiastic, so excited, and told me all about it, and I was like, wow, this sounds fantastic. And yeah.
So Ruby, I'm a fan of snarky sarcasm, and your character, I feel, is full of snarky sarcasm. I just wanted to know, how fun was it for you to kind of bring her to life? And I know you're acting, whatever, but I was always wondering, how much of that is in Ruby's personality, or what did you bring to it to kind of bring her to life?
I think I'm kind of more a shy and kind of type. So I was like, how am I gonna make her feel so tough and seem so tough? And I was like, I saw a bunch of different, when people and you're like, okay, this kind of serious humor where someone's so serious that it's kind of funny. So that's the type that I chose. And I thought, yeah, I was happy that you seem and think the same way. So I'm happy I brought it over in a good
oh yeah, you definitely did. One of my favorite characters in the movie. Yeah, you completely sold it. So good. Natalie was talking about Matthias and your chemistry with him. What was it kind of developing that relationship? Because it kind of goes through kind of different extremes, where it's kind of this meet cute kind of funny thing, and then towards the end it comes this really kind of serious emotional kind of relationship. What was it like developing that with him?
It was so great. Matthias is such a generous actor and such a generous person with his energy. So, he really wanted us to connect and have time and build, the stuff that you get for free, really, when you just, as people and as actors, can really delve in and get to know one another and, collaborate on ideas. And yeah, he was really great at creating an environment where that was possible. But in terms of the characters, I think he was a surprise. She did not need him. Did not need a romantic connection. She was like, he is here to save crack, and that is it. And he was this kind of surprising person that made her question her entire situation.
They grew on you.
Yeah, yeah. Closer, because they shared this same vision and same mission. So yeah, it's a really lovely kind of trajectory that they took. So
well, they're wrapping me up right now. I just want to tell you both congratulations on the film. It was so much fun. I can't wait for people to see it. You guys were both awesome in it. Also awesome to see two kick-ass girls in a movie like this. So I'm very happy for both. Yeah, there we go. I'm very happy for both of you guys. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ready, set, and crack!
Ludwig Dieter, safecracker extraordinaire.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner!
We've been watching you. I belong to a crew that executes international bank heists, and we want to recruit you.
Why me? I am no criminal.
The world's distracted. This window of opportunity isn't just our only chance, it's yours.
My only chance. What?
A life less ordinary. I'd like you to meet the team. Karina, our master hacker. Rolf, our getaway driver. And last but not least, our very own real-life action hero, Mr. Brad Cage.
So, is it like in a movie film where each one of us has a different skill set and it's only working together that we can pull off that which needs the pulling off?
Yes, it's exactly like that.
We've assembled from various sources the locations of the 3 safes. The Rheingold, the Valkyrie, the Siegfried. All of them are under the ownership of infamous billionaire Balai Tanaka.
Any questions?
No. Yes, many. Hundreds.
I did it! You did it!
I really touched her. Thank you very much. Go, go, go!
Let's move!
This is about becoming legends. What are you doing?
I'm warming up my instruments.
Hi, Rebecca. Nice to meet you.
Hi, what was your magazine?
JoBlo.com. So I got to ask you, when you dive into a movie like Dune that has this whole kind of mythology around it, what kind of research do you do? I was reading that you kind of went to some of the fan pages and did you end up reading the book or?
Yeah, I mean, that is my job. So even though I've been joking about not doing it, be insane not to. My resource was, to be honest, Denny's mind, Denny's vision. Denny couldn't have put it better than what he was trying to describe to this universe, these characters. There's so much to understand. You know, he's juggling 3 different family constellations, the universe, the spice melange, the ornithopters, there's so much. I have the family of Atreides, the Bene Gesserit, and kind of Jessica. So it was narrowing it down. But yeah, I do. I always go to fan pages where it's Reddit. There's so many of them, Tumblrs and Reddit, and I do a lot of research from what people write, what they loved about the book, what they didn't like about the character, what they're hoping Denny would achieve. And that combined with reading the book.
Did he ever show you guys the David Lynch version?
No, he wouldn't have to show us the David Lynch. He doesn't sort of enter the world of going, I want to make Dune. Let's look at the first version. Mm-hmm. I think that would set us all off quite a lot. But I watched it definitely, but I also watched the Jodorowsky and I do my research. But Denny had a vision. I wouldn't have had to watch any of it. I would have had to read the book because the film is based on the book.
Mm-hmm.
But I love bits of all the other versions as well. I embrace them. I think they're gory and gritty and disgusting and disturbing and ahead of their time. And I mean, Yorodovsky.
Oh, if only it had gotten made, would have been great.
Now Denis made something that I think is the most epic of Dune versions, you know?
Well, for me, having been in lockdown for the last 20 months, going to see a movie like Dune on the big screen, I can't even really tell you how amazing it felt, because you really get to be just absorbed in this amazing universe for 2.5 hours and forget about everything else. Do you think, a movie like this hopefully will do that for a lot of people, considering all that's been going on?
I don't work for the CDC, but and I don't want to force people out, but if there is a movie,
Yes.
I went to Cruella, and for me that was epic as well.
Sure.
Just in the cinema. But I think it's Dune. It's so
Yeah.
expensive. It's so dynamic. It's so intense. I just want people to go and see it the way that it was meant to be seen, if they feel comfortable to do it. And I think it will inject them with that reignited love for camaraderie.
What was your reaction to it when you saw it for the first time?
I cried the first time I saw it. I didn't burst out crying, but I was very emotional.
I also wanted to ask you about the fight scenes, because I did read about something that you were saying, how it was much different from what you were doing in Mission Impossible, because you had to do it was more just quickness in this rather than rather than elaborate choreography. And I was just wondering if you could talk about that a bit. I thought the fights were really effective.
But I don't like saying that it was different. I think you wonderful journalists change words, so I try and be quite careful with how I say things. I've trained a lot with Mission, so I'm very prepared for physical action. But I think my point was, this wasn't an action movie in the sense that Jessica's fighting. The point was to show out of nowhere her capacity. And that needed to be swift, quick, and for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more the storytelling of it rather than that wonderful fight scene that Timothy had with Babs, who plays Jonas, who is a dear friend. I mean, and he's a fighter as well. He's a jiu-jitsu martial art champion. He's incredible. So I think also my respect for the training and Roger Young and the entire team and Ninja, my stunt double, it's a world I love, but this film wasn't about, for my character, the physical action of it. It was just a plus for me to be thrown in and get a couple of those scenes as well, because I love doing it.
What I also loved about this movie was kind of the way they introduced the Bene Gesserit, which I thought was so much more compelling than any other version that we'd seen before. And of course, they're doing a whole Dune TV series about it, the Sisterhood. And I was wondering if perhaps maybe you might be involved with that at all, because it seems like a world that'd be fascinating to explore.
I heard about it for the first time yesterday when we were sitting on at the Sphere, the Cinesphere.
Yeah.
And it was brought up, and I had actually never heard of this show being made. So I'm not sure I am a part of it, or if I'm going to be asked to be a part of it, or if I think Denis said that he keeps things to himself, and he does, even though we're very good friends. I think this is the first stop. And then we'll see where it goes, but that would be cool. What is it? I mean, seriously, is it a show? Is it the Bene Gesserit? Like, who's buying it?
I think it's just about the origins of the Bene Gesserit, maybe, or kind of, because I mean
that would be amazing.
Yeah,
seriously.
They plant so many seeds too, and it's kind of fascinating. I really loved also your Bene Gesserit voice. I thought it was terrifying.
I know, it was good, wasn't it? We tried out lots of different versions. I started sounding like Donald Duck. I was trying to get my no, but that's CGI added voice, but I thought that maybe I could create it in real life. So after a while, then he was like, stop it. Stop with the Donald Duck voice, just say it like you mean it, and we're gonna fix it later.
I really loved that Denis broke this movie up into multiple parts, because you really got into the family more so than you ever did in any of the other versions, and you really invest in the characters. But do you think that nowadays it's a really kind of a risky gamble to do that? Because it seems like a really kind of like an amazing move, but like risky bet. And I hope to God like he gets to make the sequel. And I was just wondering if you had any news on that.
I have no news. We keep on saying it. We get the question. It was very important for Denny to divide it. And as you said, you got much more into the family constellations. And also, like Denny said yesterday, it puts the cement for the understanding of the universe. For everyone who hasn't read the book or isn't merged in it, it needs to make sense for everyone. And then the second one would be the possibility to play and have fun, because you've won the audience over to go on this journey. It's like saying, do you want to come on this one or not? And now it's up to you guys to want to say yes or no. But I think it wouldn't have been the same film had he forced everything into one. I think it's not a risky game. It's the game that he wanted to do, and the compliments that he's getting for this film. And maybe one of the reasons as well is because it's divided and because we got so much space.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think he's a visionary, and I think that the movie was absolutely brilliant, and I thought you were great in it. So just wanted to say that. Thank you very much for talking to me.
That's one more. Maybe we can get two. Like second one done. Come on.
I want to see 3, hopefully.
The outsiders ravage our land. Their cruelty to my people is all I've known.
So you're going tomorrow?
Yes, I'm going tomorrow with the advance team.
I'd like you to take me with you.
Are you trying to get me court-martialed?
Can I trust you with something? I've been having dreams about a girl fallen in battle. Felt like a vision.
Dreams make good stories, but everything important happens when we're awake.
You're the future of House Atreides.
You have to be ready.
There is no call we do not answer. There is no faith that we betray.
They're not human, they're brutal.
What if I'm not dead? You'll still be the only thing I ever needed you to be.
Come on!
My son. I know you.
Tonight, the bloodline ends forever. Kill them all.
This is an extermination. They're picking my family off one by one. Only together can we stand a chance.
Let's fight like demons.
It's not safe for you here.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Where the fear is gone, only I will remain.
This is only the beginning.
And that's Jimmy O from JoBlo. Selma, how are you?
I'm good. Happy to be talking to you.
I know. Well, you know how much we love you at JoBlo. We adore you there. So, what a role. What an absolute... How did you find this character? I mean, such an interesting role to play.
Yes, it had so many layers and complications. You know, Mike wanted me he wants the audience to have the option to pick 2 films within one. You're either watching one that it's about addiction, or one about that it's more sci-fi, about 2 parallel universes, but he wanted the role to work each way. So you kind of have to take that into consideration. And there's, for example, one part where at the same time I had to play an anxiety attack and a breakdown a little bit that could be because you need the drugs, could be because you're losing your soulmate in a reality that doesn't exist, and either way she's feeling something. So when you're an actor, you have to really believe in something to feel it and to break down. But she believes that these emotions are not real. So how do you fight having the emotions and at the same time having the character saying, wait a minute, no, but I'm not feeling this. This is not real. Oh, but it's pulling me. Oh, but no, I'm not feeling it. And it's really complicated. It's not just like, oh, you're upset because your boyfriend might leave you, and then you know how to play that. But it's a little bit more complicated.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, because there is that kind of the idea of it's oh, so the drugs are hitting her. How did you prepare? Did you talk to people? Did you just kind of was it all the script?
No, I talked to people, and I had to learn a lot about the simulation theory and about how the brain worked in what she designed, because Mike actually designed the brain box and he understood how everything worked, and I had to understand how it worked and what kind of neurons go to, so that I could play the scientist at the same time as the homeless. He wanted me to be very forceful with Greg Owen's character, and push us that he didn't have time to think. He wanted me to become like play a drug, like I was his drug that doesn't let you think clear. And so he is so thorough and he is amazing, but you have to prepare to be able to deliver all the things that he wanted in this character.
Well, yeah, he is such an interesting director because there's so much he does with the character, yet he tells these fabulous, really wild stories. Is he an actor's director as well?
Yes.
I
I think so. He is such a pleasure to work with because he knows what he wants. He has a very specific vision. He's very technical, yet he's completely open. Towards the end, we would rehearse, improvise before the shot, rethink, analyze, and then he would set us free. But he would guide us before, so off the script completely, some scenes.
Wow.
Completely experimental, some scenes. And that's, in a movie so complicated, it's not easy. But he would prepare us before, we do the work before.
Wow. Well, it's a phenomenal performance, and we got to wrap it up, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Thank you, Selma. It was good seeing you.
Hi, this is Gaius Bowling from JoBlo.com. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I just have to say, you have one hell of an introduction in this movie. Your very first scene, I mean, it literally is a kick-ass scene. And I was wondering, what was it like, kind of like reading that and knowing that was going to be how you would be introduced into this universe?
It's interesting you say that. It wasn't like that when I first read it. We did a reshoot of that scene in LA after we'd finished. And I didn't realize really what it was for. And then I'm watching the final product. I'm so glad we did that because I think it is a very cool introduction to have.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, just casually taking a phone call.
I know.
I mean, what better way to get introduced to a movie?
Right?
You know, I kind of touched on this with some of the other cast, especially the female cast, but it was so cool to kind of, you know, have you guys, you know, of course the guys are cool and that's awesome, but like you guys are on equal footing with them. Like you're just as badass, you're just as tough, you're just as strong. What was it like to kind of share that with the other female members of the cast? Like you all have these really great kick-ass moments.
Yeah. I think there's more and more films where we're, representing women just as much as the men in the action space. I mean, I think we still probably have a bit more of a way to go, but I remember watching Wonder Woman, and there's that big opening where it's just women fighting other women, and I was crying because I thought that was so cool. I had never seen that before. So yeah, it was just awesome to be a part of that, I guess. We didn't really talk about it that much. I think we were just enjoying ourselves too much. But yeah, now that you say it, I think, it was really, really great to be a part of that and, represent the tough ladies.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's I almost sucks I have to ask that question because it should just be a normal thing. And
we'll get there one day.
But it's always like refreshing to see, it's great to see, having women in these movies that aren't just talking heads, like they're part of the action, and it's rare, and it shouldn't be rare.
Yeah,
I'm glad that your film actually represents that, because all of you guys get a moment to kind of shine in it, and it's really cool.
Yeah, totally.
So I wanted to ask, because you and the Baroness, and I know that you might be biased because you're Scarlet, and but if it comes down to it, if you do another one of these, and you guys get to go hand to hand, who do you got?
I mean, probably the Baroness. She's so she's Scarlet's, loyal and true and does the right thing. I feel like the Baroness is sneaky and could do something. She breaks the rules. The Baroness is a rule breaker. She could
a little bit underhanded.
She could bring a second person in. You know what I mean? She wouldn't play by the rules.
And does it all in stiletto heels too, which is crazy.
Exactly. Scarlet has boots on.
So what was it like doing? I'm sure that you all went through a lot of rigorous fight training and stuff like that. What was your training like for the film?
Yeah, it was pretty intense. I think I had a 6 month heads up. So I worked with a personal trainer for a while just to try and get bigger and tougher. And because the comic book, I was like, whoa, she's okay. I've got to do a lot of hard work to get that way. So I did that as much as possible. And then when I landed in Japan, we just went straight into training most days, unless we were working. So yeah, it was intense, but it was good.
Nice. Well, you guys all pulled it off so well. I mean, they're wrapping me up right now, but I wanted to say that I enjoyed the film. You were awesome in it. I hope we get to see more of you if we get more of these in the next one.
That would be so cool.
And it was a pleasure talking to you. I just want to say one quick thing. I'm a huge fan of Ready or Not.
Great!
So I just want to get that out there. So this has been a pleasure getting to talk to you even for a moment.
Thank you so much. That's so nice.
You saved my life. Why?
I'm not a murderer. I looked into your eyes and I saw honor.
I owe you. We are going home.
I don't have a home.
Not yours. Mine.
What is it exactly you do?
For 600 years, our ninja have brought peace to the world.
But things have changed.
I need warriors like you to become the future of the clan.
It's yours, if you want it.
Let's go.
I can't change your past. I can offer you something more important. A home.
I came to make you an offer, Tommy.
Call me Storm Shadow.
Chris, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Zach. Nice to see you. Okay, so I got to ask. I watched the Snyder Cut this weekend, and I really did love it. Like, legitimately, I thought it was amazing. And I got to ask you, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about how long the movie was supposed to be when you were doing it for Warner Brothers originally. Because watching the 4-hour version, I felt like nothing could have really been cut, though, because it felt like how could it have ever been a 2-hour movie?
Yeah, I don't know how it ever could have been a 2-hour movie. I'll be honest with you. That was a big problem that we were working on. I thought we were going to land probably with a lot of cuts and, you know, the movie getting choked pretty hard at around 240. Mm-hmm. You know, that was not in the cards, as they say. Mm-hmm. Destiny had other things in mind for us. So, because it would have been, I don't know. I feel like if a 3-hour version had gone out, people would have really been into it, because it's almost like Lord of the Rings, you know, with all the Amazon mythology and stuff. And when you cut that out, it would be like cutting all the mythology out of that, you know, like all the fantasy out of the film. It doesn't make any sense to me that would have ever gone out as 2 hours. It's strange. Yeah, you and I would have the same attitude on this.
Okay, so then the other question I have for you is, you talked once about how the studio rejected a couple of your ideas for being too scary. Were there any that you were able to put back into the movie? Because it felt significantly darker than anything in the Justice League version that came out.
I mean, the only thing I wasn't able to restore that I wanted to, I just couldn't. I couldn't do it, and it's fine. I have no regrets, as they say. That was the cocoons, you know, that the parademons would cocoon you, a la Aliens, and you would, like, in that cocoon you would be like transformed into a parademon.
Oh wow, geez.
That was a cool kind of idea that I had. And when they went into the tunnel battle, they found all the scientists like half turned and
oh wow,
and they were like, no, not.
Wow.
Cool.
Oh, that sucks then, because that would have been really cool.
But anyway, but other than that, I mean, a lot of the stuff we've done, even just with like Steppenwolf fighting, and Steppenwolf himself clearly is more of an R-rated character than, say, the Steppenwolf that you saw maybe in the theatrical version.
Well, yeah, he's scary. I have to ask you, as a fan, you know, with the nightmare stuff that everybody's talking about, which is great. I do feel like, in a way, I know that you've said that you're not necessarily intending this, but I do feel that you've kind of left the door open to some degree. Would you say that I'm off base at all, or? Well,
I mean, only in the sense that, like, the movie was designed as a cliffhanger. You know, that is the design of the film. You know, like, Lex is telling Deathstroke Bruce Wayne's name. Like, these are things that are inevitably going to lead to other things happening. And that was the way the movie, we had designed like 2 more movies after this. Look, in my opinion, this could be the only version of my version of Justice. I mean, this could be the last movie for sure. Right now it is the last movie. And I just wanted to give the fans as a complete experience as possible in regard to, like, the genre trope of the superhero movie at its best is this kind of promise of things to come. So that's
I want to see it. I think everybody's going to want to see it after this comes out. So hopefully we'll see it. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, cheers.